Well, thank you all very much for having me. This is my first time to an AFA conference, so I'm starting it off right by doing some timed memorized public speaking, which is how I like to start off most of my conferences when I get a chance. I have done Ignite presentations one time before, and the thing that I noticed about them was that they're most effective whenever they try to tell a story. And so sort of my focus today is I'm going to tell a story, and we're going to see what it is that we can learn from that. So a little bit about myself. I graduated from Penn State, and my freshman year I struggled a lot with depression, which I think a lot of students do. I was heavily involved in the sciences. I ended up graduating with a degree in biochemistry, not as useful as you might think in the field. And I really couldn't see the value in joining a fraternity. I didn't really need it for any social experience. I was in a committed relationship, didn't drink underage, thought hazing was dumb. I just really couldn't see any reason that I would want to join it. As I struggled with my depression, I sort of saw myself as sort of a lone wolf. Obviously that didn't last. I ended up joining the refounding class of Beta at Penn State, and it really expanded my idea of what a fraternity is and what it could be. I heard some really amazing things, and to me it was like the great works of Michelangelo or Da Vinci. It was like the world had color again. I joined with certain expectations, and I assumed that my brothers had joined for sort of similar expectations. I attended UIFI and some of the different beta leadership programs, and I came back ready to make a difference. I had the SWOT analysis, I had challenge and support, I had some learning objectives, I had some statistics. It was really exciting, and I was ready. It turns out that those things don't matter as much when you're in the wrong pack. So, my senior year, there was a brother, we nicknamed him America. His roll number was 1776. He came up to my room at 4 in the morning and tried to break my door down. My roommate went outside to tell him off, and he grabbed my roommate by the neck and slammed him up against the wall. And he looked him in the face and he said, "I hate you, and I hate Gummo, and neither of you deserve to be brothers in this fraternity." He made some more threats later on in the year as well. I didn't leave my room much senior year. I didn't do much my senior year. I was so afraid for my physical well-being that I really gave up. And that's one of the greatest failures of my life. So what is it that we're supposed to learn from this? I don't expect any of you to have any major epiphanies from my Ignite presentation, but I do believe there is some value in my story. And I interpret it as this. It sucks being in a chapter that sucks. We have people in our organizations right now that are struggling. And I think that my story is too prevalent in a field that is growing as rapidly as ours is. And I think sometimes we get too caught up in things like, theory and trying to treat everything like a model that we forget what it is that we're asking of our students. I think that what I'm trying to say is just remember how terrifying it is to go against the grain. So we have late nights that we work, we've got Excel spreadsheets that we have to crunch, we have awkward phone calls that we have to make, and none of those things are fun. But I sure as hell would be rather doing those things than to be laying in bed at 4 in the morning wondering whether or not I'm going to be dragged out into the middle of the hallway. As one of my students told me over the summer, these problems everyone jokes about, to me, they feel like Everest. So, what I'm trying to say is, remember that whenever we have these types of problems, that we need to treat the student as an actual human, instead of just a project. There's always going to be lone wolves in the wrong pack. After all, we join to help people, not processes. Remember that we ask our students to do things that we have difficulty doing ourselves. If you're going to tell your student that they need to hold their peers accountable for the amount of alcohol they're drinking, then we should at least have the respect to do that to our peers as well. And remember that we are doing things that can change lives. So I could have gone through the rest of my freshman year struggling with depression. I could have started self-medicating with alcohol and drugs. But it was one student affairs professional that took a little bit of extra time to sit down with me, to look at me as a person and not just a project, that ended up saving my life. And I can never repay him, but I can at least pay it forward in my career. And I hope that that's what you all will be moved to do as well. I want to thank you so much for giving me your attention. I would love to hear your stories as well. I think there's so much value in a story, and I think that stories sometimes can tell us more than statistics ever could. Thank you so much.